It was all about Shakespeare, Chaucer and Milton. Nobody looked at everyday life or nature. It was all about iambic pentameter, rhyming couplets. But then came a man who changed everything. He brought poetry out of the ancient style of grandeur and gods and thrust his new style hard into the 19th century. After him, it would never be the same again. He was called William Wordsworth. Now let us take you back to 1770 when Wordsworth was born. Let me introduce you to young Wordsworth. As a child, he would roam freely and gaily on the fell sides of the Lake District. He would enjoy playing normal children's games, enjoying nature in all its glory, swimming in the lakes and going on many adventures. Now let me introduce you to Wordsworth's sister, Dorothy. The two of them would enjoy playing together as normal brothers and sisters would. They would enjoy hopscotch, skipping, and even piggybacks. But then, on the death of their mother, William and Dorothy were parted. This was a sad time for William. William went to Hawkshead and Dorothy went to Halifax. Now we're in the classroom of William Wordsworth. See how he gets on with his fellow classmates, how they sit together and enjoy the best days of their life in the classroom. Wordsworth soon got into poetry. It was a difficult time being without Dorothy, but he was able to manage. He would wander the fellsides alone at all hours of the night and day, and would experience many wonderful things. Here's an example of the time he went to Ullswater and stole a boat in the night time. He sees the mountains loom above him.
I went alone into a shepherd's boat. Skiff that to a willow tree was tied. Within rocky cave, its usual home, the shores of Patterdale, a vale, and the mountains truly frightened me. I'm actually frightened.
Right, now we have a university scene. This is the kind of thing you can imagine of Wordsworth getting up to at university. It was probably a very experimental time. He was able to stay up late and talk about new theories about time and space and really develop and find his place in the world. He worked on what was called his inward eye, which reflected his appreciation of nature. So this is probably a typical Wordsworthian university scene. Okay, next we have Wordsworth went travelling. He wanted to, see the world as most people do. First of all, let's get your backpack on there. He first of all went to France, and then after that he went to Germany. And this was the time of the French Revolution, which was very important for Wordsworth, and it was around this time that he met Coleridge. They became great friends, and they decided to write some poems together and call them the Lyrical Ballads. And this is what changed poetry forever, all thanks to Wordsworth's inward eye. Now, using the art of puppetry, we're going to reenact the scene of Wordsworth and Dorothy seeing Dove Cottage for the first time. Okay, so you can imagine Wordsworth and Dorothy walking along the fell sides in the Lake District. There's Wordsworth there, going along with his sister Dorothy. And oh, William! Oh, look at that house over there! Isn't it beautiful? Should we go and see if it's up for sale? Oh yes, why not? Why don't we live here for 8 years? And I'm Dove Cottage. I can tell you that William William and Dorothy, they lived in me for 8 years, and they wrote a lot of Wordsworth's best poetry right here. And then after that, there was a guy called Thomas de Quincey who lived inside Dove Cottage, and he really loved his opium. So we're going to have an example of the Confessions of an English Opium Eater. Here we are. Take it away, Thomas.
I was stared at, hooted at, grinned at, chatted at by monkeys, by parrots, by cockatoos. I ran into pandas and was fixed for centuries at the summit or in secret rooms. I was the idol, I was the priest, I was worshipped, I was sacrificed. I fled from the wrath of Brahma through all the forests of Asia. Vishnu hated me, Siva laid wait for me. I came suddenly upon Isis and Osiris. I had done a deed, they said, which the ibis and the crocodile trembled at. I was buried for 1,000 years in stone coffins with mummies and sphinxes, in narrow chambers at the heart of eternal pyramids. I was kissed by crocodiles and lay confounded with all unutterable slimy things amongst reeds and nilotic mud.
Now one day Dorothy Wordsworth was writing in her journal about seeing daffodils on the shores of Ullswater by Go Barrow Park, and this inspired Wordsworth to write a poem. So it was called, here we are, here's the cloud. I wandered lonely as a cloud, floating high over vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils. That was the daffodil that we used yesterday, which is... should have got another one maybe, but you know. Okay, so now we've got another reading of another Wordsworth poem. Here we have the leech gatherer, so you see he has his trousers rolled up and his legs covered in horrible leeches, sucking the blood out of his pale, pasty limbs. Wordsworth wrote about this guy in Resolution and Independence. Such seemed this man not alive nor dead, nor all asleep in his extreme old age. His body was bent double, feet and head coming together in life's pilgrimage.
So there you have a glimpse of Wordsworth's poetry. We are now going to fast forward to the time when Wordsworth was in Rydal Mount. As he grew older, he became more conservative. The lakes were changing much to his dislike, and it looked like the Industrial Revolution was getting too close for comfort.
What's up, Mr. Wordsworth, man? What's going on?
Who's that, man? What do you say?
I'm from the National Railway Inquiries. I sent you an email, but I didn't get no reply, man. I was just informing you about the new railway line that we're going to be building down in the lakes by Grasmere. I was just wondering if you would be up for that. What kind of thing do you think about that in your way, man? I mean, this is the Industrial Revolution, man. I mean, you've got to contemporize, man. I mean, you know, that farming and agriculture was just so 1790. People need to go on holidays. They need to kick it up in the lakes, man, and you know this.
Not on your nanny. You can tell those Tories to bugger off. Okay, next we have another puppet show, I think. Yes. Excellent. While Wordsworth was living in Rydal Mount, he became the Poet Laureate. And so now, here we have a scene of Wordsworth meeting Queen Victoria, and we have Queen Victoria somewhere. Where is she? Here she is there. There we go. And so there's Queen Victoria, and Wordsworth approaches her. Here he is, and she says, "Wordsworth, would you like to be the Poet Laureate? You are the greatest living poet." And he says, "Oh, no. I can only write when I'm inspired. It should go to a younger poet." And she's like, oh, please do be the Poet Laureate. And then Dove Cottage comes up and sort of persuades, has word in Wordsworth's ear. And yes, he eventually does take up the Poet Laureate. And everyone's happy about that, aren't they? So of course, then after that, pretty much, that's Wordsworth's life, really. So
I have it. That was the life of Wordsworth. You have seen him through childhood, the formative years, right up to when he met the Queen. He's already dead. His final hours played out to the sound of the cuckoo clock.